signage that's coming in from the DOT. Several cities nationwide have used that electronic signage to point out what cities have, what some of the attractions are and the amenities. Jobs is the #1 priority. Developing the corridor from Village of the Arts through Main Street, through the waterfront, it's been discussed for several years. We have shrunk year after year after year on our Main Street. It's less and less commercial activity. We need to find ways to revitalize that and get people to stop here.
Our next question will come from Jennifer Conklin. Jennifer, your question, please.
Mr. O'Brien, let's continue with you on the subject of growth. What's your position on the issue of growth and development?
Well, that kind of transitions into what we were just talking about. I think there are two aspects of the growth question. The first is what we were talking about the comprehensive plan and looking at how Village of the Arts, Main Street, and the waterfront link together and how we can make this more of an attractive place for people to come to. First of all, as I said, we all know how great it is, but a lot of people don't. So there are some very basic things that we can do that realize Bradenton, the DDA, Soul of the Community have recommended or have discussed doing. Those first two specifically have said, let's do things with the waterfront. Let's put waterfront water fountains and drinking fountains and restrooms and kiosks and information stands so that when people do come here to visit, they know where to go. It's more user-friendly. And the other aspect of growth has to do with the developments that we've seen come into Bradenton over several years. The growth that we saw in Rossi Park several years ago, a lot of developers thought that was a good idea, and the city thought it was a good idea as well because they voted between having a public facility or having an income come from the area of Rossi Park. And so the city council voted for having an income, and that's a legitimate choice. However, a lot of the successful downtowns that are waterfront, St. Petersburg, Chicago, have large public spaces, not only for the locals to use and enjoy, but also for people that visit to enjoy. It's a hallmark of a well-planned city when you have that enjoyable place. Now, we do have some places on the waterfront. We really need to use them now. We really need to execute the plan that's in paper and get it going. We need to bring some of those attractions that we're talking about, make it more navigable, make it more walkable and bikeable, which is what the DDA's idea was, and boatable. We have a terrific town. Let's finish the work that we've begun on paper and make it a true destination. One last thing I want to say about growth, and I know I'm about to run out of time here. We need to buy Bradenton. We need to shop Bradenton. We need to go to Bradentonian restaurants. We really need to focus on the local economy to help ourselves out.
And Mr. Roff, what are your thoughts on growth and development?
Thank you. For starters, this is a topic that I've spent a lot of time working on, not only through the comprehensive plan. I'm considered to be a new urbanist, student of the new urbanist design. That's what I'm hoping to instill in the Tamiami Trail area. I think that we have an excellent plan. I couldn't be more proud. This plan started in 2005. It is a roadmap. This is the type of plan that as I travel to different areas where growth is discovered, this is exactly what they're hoping for, recreating a grid system, the inclusion of parks and open green space. Our new comprehensive plan says that we should have more parks. There is a large waterfront park planned for development along the old Rossi waterfront that runs down all the way through to where the hospital is. Very happy. We've just worked with Norma Lloyd. We just worked with Manatee County and state on presenting and building a Norma Lloyd Park. And even the east side, the recreational facility that they've said all the way along that they wanted. Growth isn't just going to be buildings, but that's going to be a good part of it. I would like to correct Mr. O'Brien a minute ago on behalf of the DDA that the wayfinding signs were not from the county. That was the DDA that put those in there. That board worked very hard and long to create those strategic mappings to get people to their destinations. That's what it's all about. I've said once before, the citizens have spoken about what they want. They want a vibrant downtown. They want more shops and restaurants. The equation for that, anywhere and everywhere you go, is residents living downtown, working downtown, walking downtown. I can't wait to get back to work. I have been, this is what I ran for. I have been working with tough budget cuts for 3 years now. I'm very proud of the fact that the citizens asked us to cut budgets. I've reduced the millage rate by 9%, and I've saved over $7 million from reduced off the budget.
Well, that segues into our next question. Last month, the City Council adopted a $104 million budget. The tax rate is identical to last year's. What are your views of taxation and government spending? Mr. Roff, you first.
Thank you. Well, for starters, I like to follow the lead of the citizens. I was elected by the citizens to do their will. At this point, we discussed at the last budget cut in detail what we put it out there. We had 3 workshops, and I personally requested from the citizens that I would like to hear from you on how you would like for us to handle this issue. I did not hear from anybody who said raise taxes for any reason whatsoever. I did hear, and I've been out walking the towns, I have heard that people are concerned about losing their homes. They're concerned about losing their jobs. They're concerned about having their cars repossessed. They said, please do not add to my concerns. So what we're doing right now is a very difficult issue. We're learning to live within our means. Our motto for 3 years has been, we are going to do more for less. And we have been doing that. I'm very proud of the 600 employees that work so hard to serve Bradenton. They have met the test. They are doing more. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the police department. I work very closely with the police department. Chief Raz has told me just today again. We had a city council meeting where he gave new crime stats that crime is down by another 7%. I have been getting those reports. I asked him how those reports are done. He said they're done on a daily basis and capped off at the end of the week. So I've been getting a report from the police at every council meeting. Every time that report came in, crime is down. We have spent, I'm very proud of the fact that over the last few years, we have brought in about $20 million in grants and for different purposes, including a $1.5 million for the cop grants. Just today, we're out to receive another $200,000 for the police department for computers in the cars. Anytime we bring money into the city through these grants programs, and when we in the city of Bradenton are very aggressive and we're very successful in doing that, that is money that is not going to have to come from the general budget.
Mr. O'Brien.
Sure. A point of correction of his correction. When we first moved here, my wife and I, we took our bicycles and we went around the neighborhoods and we wanted to find out what Bradenton was about, what Bradenton had to offer. Now, I'd grown up in the area, but I hadn't lived in Bradenton proper until several years ago. It took us a year to discover where Village of the Arts was. We lived 12 blocks away. There weren't nearly enough signs up there. Now, Village of the Arts needs signage. Now, those signs that they finally have up there is not nearly enough. They need to be allowed to put more signage, and the other businesses that don't have signage, and we need to find ways, flyers and calendars and networking on the internet and using all sorts of things that other cities are using to let people know what the resources are. Now, with regard to the taxes and the budget, clearly I'm against taxes, and I believe that when they make the argument that it's either raise taxes or cut the police department, I think that's a specious argument. The police department deserved full funding. They were so overworked and so understaffed compared to other police departments, and trying to keep up with what with the crime wave that we have. I have in front of me the UCR report that shows murder is up between the same month last year and the same month this year. Murder is up, rapes are up, robberies are slightly down, burglaries and aggravated assaults are essentially the same. We have a problem, and we've had it for several years, and it's not getting better, and cutting and not fully funding the police department isn't helping. Now, there are grants that can be connected to the community redevelopment agencies. There are grants that are associated with the stimulus package, and there are always additional revenue streams, especially here in Bradenton where the city owns so much property. One revenue stream potential, and we would have to take a good look at it, is those few offices on the first floor of City Hall. I'm not talking about the whole building, but those few offices on the waterfront of City Hall. Imagine those being restaurants as the DDA's sketch. Imagine them, restaurants and shops. What a great way to anchor that waterfront to Main Street. What a great way to begin to attract more people downtown and stimulate the economy.